Start with making a brief presentation, though all of you know all the people who are. The early years, call them the wonder years, 96 versus our competitor, which was, we had about 23,000 connections and they had about 11,000 connections. Those days, we all remember, mobile itself was 16 rupees 80 paisa a minute. A decent handset cost about 40 or 1,000 rupees, which was largely similar to a second-hand Fiat car, if you may say so. And the idea was to connect more rationally. We've had, in the last 7 years, we've had 2 research processes with IMRB on a nationwide basis. One is the customer relationship assessment exercise, which is the quarterly tracking exercise with CSMM, which is the J. Walter Thompson Associate, and a brand track, which is a monthly monitor system, again with IMRB. And these keep telling us where the brand is going, and very quickly we were being perceived as an Amitabh Bachchan or Sachin Tendulkar type of person as a brand. We then moved to the next sensitive. By then, if you recall, the license fee regime was moving into the revenue share regime, which allowed operators to deliver product and service at much more affordable prices. Therefore, the SEC A plus now started moving into the SEC B, at least A2 and B1, and therefore the brand started to connect with more than the mind. It started to connect with the heart. And very quickly, Bharti's entrepreneurial instinct, spirit, led us to quickly acquire circles like Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Chennai, and later on in a whirlwind acquisition, Kolkata. And after a fair amount of pain, finally Punjab as well. And clearly the brand was rapidly taking great strides in starting to mushroom today of becoming a national pan-India brand. Mr. Mittal later would speak about some of our thoughts in this area, directions in this area. And clearly on our way for ourselves. Let me take you back here actually. This is, I'm sharing with you very internal, great sense of sort of pride and happiness at our end that we were finally trying, in a position to achieve our dream. About 9-10 months back, what we should start looking at in the area of the brand as well. And therefore the process started way back. You're seeing it today because we're on the anvil of announcing our launch dates for the new circle launches. Flitter away for a while, like different sort of definitions here. Second implication was that the complexity of the architecture, which had many sub-brands, the Tangos, the Utopias, etc., needed to be now simplified and create a funnel effect where everything finally funneled into one strong power brand. The third implication was to strengthen the relationship between the Magic brand and the mother brand Airtel, and learn from our customers through a series of research, consumer studies, and simulation exercises to look to the future for the brand. If the consumer was getting younger, if the consumer was looking at more energy, if the consumer cutting across SEC B and C, which is socio-economic classification SEC B and C, then maybe friendlier as well, to mirror the future. And that's what actually we are here for today. It's evolving ourselves to become more relevant, more real, more recognizable, and more loved in the future. And as we know, brand strategy is clearly a function of the business strategy. And business strategy is dictated by 2 critical elements, which is the market and the consumer. And going forward, let us look at the 3 aspects that I've just spoken about. Business was changing because data was coming in far more strongly. It was simply moving away from voice, visual, images. As we were a Delhi, Himachal Pradesh type of player, we then quickly acquired and mushroomed all over the country. Now we're moving into the 3 key values that the brand had. And we said we need to keep them. We quickly take you through. The social insight of the positioning strategy is people need people. Okay. As much as we have machines here, as much to you this may seem to be very basic, but reality is this is the crux. People want to communicate just when they want to.
Wake up every morning, things move constantly, and I think that is one thing permanent in telecom is of change. And as we move forward and as we go ahead to serve customers all across the country, we keep on dreaming about how perfect we can be as a service provider to come up to the expectations of very discerning customers. Hemant did a wonderful job, he always does this, in presenting you the journey of Airtel right from 93, 94 onwards. In fact, looking at that presentation which I saw for the first time along with you as you saw it, one is very nostalgic of looking at what has been achieved in the last 7 or 8 years, and rather difficult years. They have been very challenging years, have converted Bharti from a fledgling one operation service provider to India's largest service provider today. Looking at those very important milestones that we achieved, I think clearly Bharti and Airtel have come a long way. And one of the most important measures of this success has been the support that we have received at your hands of passing what we have been dreaming of to the public at large, to people at large, and I must say that the medium has indeed delivered very powerful messages all throughout this journey of 7 years. I think why today, why now? One of the important things when we got the new licenses was that we need to rejuvenate an already existing strong brand. And as Hemant mentioned, every month there is a brand track, every quarter there is a customer sat which is done on a regular religious basis. And the feedback that we were getting was that the Airtel's position was extremely dominant and extremely strong in the territories where it was operating. Therefore, was there a need to rekindle more energy, infuse more fresh blood into the logo look? There was a big debate. In fact, I remember when we launched Karnataka, this was a year and a half back, there was a lady from Europe who was sitting next to me, and she mentioned this in my ear, that it's time for you to have a new look. It probably is 2 years back now. And ever since I've been chasing Hemant that I feel that we need to put some more youthfulness, internationalize our brand a little more, the logo a little more. If you would recall, we did this with Bharti. I think it was much easier doing it with Bharti. The earlier Bharti logo was something which was there for the last over 15 years, needed a fresh infusion of blood and new lease of life. And the Bharti logo, which is now being used, has been widely acclaimed. In fact, once it was changed, everybody had that wow feeling. It became more international, became more young, moved away from the blocky public sector image in the logo to a very dynamic service provision company that Bharti has become today. I personally believe that the new look that we have chosen is not just a new look in itself. It means a lot more. We are going to change as a company significantly. The brand remains the same. It moves up on the ladder to take care of a larger segment of people. But in as far as the values, the ethos, the platform that it stands on, it just strengthens that and doesn't change that one bit. Airtel remains Airtel. The black and red colors, which represent vibrancy and solidity, carries itself forward into this new logo. This has been designed by a professional agency, has been given enough support from our internal group. The idea was to do it now before we launch the new services, or launch all the new services with the existing brand and then rebrand them after a period of 6 to 8 months. Tough challenge. This started in August last year. A lot of research, very extensive research, because as I mentioned, Airtel's equity was so strong. People were emotionally tied to it, the employees, the customers. So this was one time that even I as an entrepreneur felt that what may be good in the gut and the mind at my level may need to be tested in the marketplace very extensively. In the existing areas where we are operating in north and south, in all the new areas where we are launching, especially Mumbai, which is a very discerning market again, very extensive research was conducted. And the feedback which we got was on expected lines, great existing brand equity in the marketplace, but yes, people felt they can connect more. There were verbatim records of, I would say, meters and meters of footage on which we had to look at what customers were saying. There were group discussions, focus groups were set up to discuss the old and new logo look. The final results were very gratifying. We were on the right track. We have produced something which is clearly international, cuts across all boundaries, will be ready to face the challenges of the new world of stronger, bigger international companies in the marketplace. Could have done better by launching ourselves a month, month and a half, and maybe 1 or 2 places even 2 months ahead of where we are today. Most of you are aware of the problems that the industry is facing. Spectrum was a big issue. We saw one of our competitors making a mobile call a few weeks back in Andhra Pradesh. The fact is, we made our mobile calls in December last year. Almost all networks, 8 networks, had mobile calls which were made mobile to mobile. Between December and January, all 8 switches and networks were in position. But there was a strategic decision which the mobility group under Mr. Anil Nair took, which after some hesitation on our part we endorsed, that they will launch their services only when they have a near competition network ready, which meant that they must be on all the highways where competition is, they must be in every town and city where competition is, and that was to now do what people have done in 7 years in a matter of 7 months. A very difficult task, a very tough task. Just to give you a scale, all the acquisitions that we have done and all the build-outs that we have done in the last 7 years, we were at under 1,000 base stations. We have added another 1,600 base stations in 7 months. The list of towns just reels like a exam result if you put it on a piece of paper. Every town, every city, every highway, number of small suburban places and many thousand villages are covered under this network, which will be spanning now and filling in holes wherever we are not there, barring Rajasthan on the west and UP East and beyond on the east, other than Kolkata. Monday we will be launching UP West and Uttar Pradesh. This will actually on Friday we are launching a technical network in Meerut, which will be followed by a full-blown commercial launch in Agra on the 10th. On the 15th we will be launching Haryana. On the 17th we are launching Madhya Pradesh. On the 18th we are launching Coimbatore. And between 18th and the few weeks that will be required thereafter, we will be covering our other 4 states. We have taken a call on the date today on Gujarat, which will be the last one to go. In fact, it was supposed to be Mumbai to be the last point of call for launches. But Gujarat, as you are aware, had some incidents. There was a slowdown in many parts of Gujarat. Some vendors had to leave in the previous months. The supply of towers, air conditioners was delayed. But the good news is the whole thing has been now caught up very well. 15th July will be the launch for Gujarat. So between the 18th and 15th, we haven't fixed on dates. Mumbai, Maharashtra and Goa and Tamil Nadu will be launched as well. With this, I think the phase of launching new mobile operations by Bharti will come to an end, and we will then therefore enter into the area of taking dominant positions in these markets as well. Clearly, as you know, we launched Punjab. We are second operator there by virtue of nobody else being there. We expect to jump over the second person in Haryana into second slot within a matter of months. In UP West, we are going in as a second operator. Therefore, all these places, 7 existing, and these 3 will be either the first or the second operator. In the balance, barring Mumbai, we will be the third operator. And in Mumbai, when we launch, we expect less than 6 months, we will be the third operator. Going thereafter to be a dominant player of being either the first or second operator in all service areas that we are present. Just to share with you, Bharti has 21% market share of all India market today. If we do not take the Tata BPL merger as a legal position today, we are the largest mobile provider in the country, and it is my belief once all the new operations are launched, we will, in spite of BPL Tata merger, emerge by the end of the year as the most dominant cellular operator in the country. 600 million people is the footprint that we cover. That is only second to China Mobile anywhere in the world. 15 mobile licenses covering 16 states is what we will be providing the services for. It was therefore time to put forward our rejuvenated, fresh, new look logo into place. I think more importantly, as Hemant mentioned, go away from the clutter of a Utopia or other sub-brands that have been created. And more importantly, move Magic, which is our recruitment brand. Most of the new ads, as you know, are coming into the prepaid, much more closer to Airtel. And what you will now be seeing is more Airtel Magic rather than Magic and it's from Airtel. So Airtel will really become the all-pervasive brands in the entire territory that we are operating. And I have no doubt that it will just not be a logo change. It will not only be a new vibrancy and useful look just in the look and feel itself, but it will start delivering more to the customers. We are committed to create an Airtel citizen in this country. We are committed to create an Airtel community, which would mean that if you are on an Airtel network, you have significantly higher advantages than competition because no other company, including BSNL, which does not have Mumbai and Delhi, have the same depth of footprint that a customer requires other than Airtel. And I believe with our long distance network, which is fully in place and all mobile networks are connected, and the roaming advantages that our customers will get, will make Airtel, to my mind, the most preferred brand, and will start giving us this necessary additional net adds to have a domineering market share in the marketplace, and ensure that the look and feel of Airtel is the same all over the country. Even today, while we have the same brand logo, same Airtel network, because he'll be recognized, he can call into the customer care of any network in the country, and all his details will flow along with him.
Together they represent a sensitive, contemporary, confident symbol of those who believe in the good things of life. Moving on, both sides live here. Unlimited freedom to communicate friendship. I see more eyes are going towards Karina, but I'd rather you stay here. We'll come to that a little later. Similarly, communicate expression. He's still clearly a great brand fit for us. He's a leader. He's again a person who has, if you look at a lot of actors in the industry, a lot of the successful actors, so there's a great fit with the way we look at our brand as well. So he remains. Karina, of course, adds to the energy of the brand. We can move on. And for local flavor, we've added, that's here actually, you don't see it here. We believe research told us the two markets need a stronger local integration, Tamil Nadu and Calcutta.
Airtel would mean in the future, in terms of products, in terms of services. Sunil's just mentioned some of the aspects. I think just to give a feel of what the coverage will entail, I thought we'll just share as to what is the footprint as of today and where are we moving to. Okay, we see the network rolls out from the 10th onwards. We will find that we would have actually covered something like 600 towns, and maybe significantly in tens of thousands of villages will get covered by Airtel's airwaves. The number, wherever he was, even if he was outside his roaming, outside and he was roaming.